Hello everyone, in this video I'll tell you about some interesting ways and different useful things that I used in creating of the picture that you can see now. It was done in the program named like Paint Tool Sai, as you know, and also with a computer mouse. For a long time I used to draw with a tablet, but once I thought that probably all the same can be repeated without a beautiful device, I was visited by this idea just because of the fact that not everyone has a tablet, unfortunately, so many users just have to use simple computer mouse. In this video I want to show you that beautiful pictures can be created with a mouse and almost at the same level as with a tablet. If to talk about the first stage of drawing, I mean about the sketch, I didn't draw the new sketch just in order to a little bit save my free time. So I used my old sketch, which was once created on the tablet. But please don't think that it's a cheat and don't close the video. It doesn't matter where I made the sketch, because I did the line art and coloring completely with a mouse. By the way, about line art. Here I want to pay your attention to a problem of brushes. In other words, when you make a line art by mouse, your lines are, let's say, not tapered, unlike the same lines on the tablet. Most people cope with this problem just by using magic tools of a vector layer. However, I don't like this way because all the lines which you make with vector layer are very accurate. Besides, even considering that tools of a vector layer help you to make your lines tapered, the transparency of lines at the edges is the same as in the middle of line. I hope you understand. And it differs from what we can see when draw on the tablet. That's why I didn't use a vector layer in the line art. How then I've made a brush tapered? The matter in settings of brushes. In the fields of a brush form, we have nothing by default. However, you can make a brush tapered, just choose the rough vertical form. But you know, this form of a brush I don't like because at the edges it is often possible to see different, not so beautiful strokes, especially if you make the brush bigger. That's why generally I used my own two brushes. If you're interested, in the description you can download a form of one of my brushes. Why only one form? Just because the second is almost the same as rough vertical, there's almost no difference. And how to install a new form of brush I will show you at the end of the video. Also, I've made two more brushes and you know, it's better to use them in the process of coloring than in line art. However, I didn't use them at all because exactly in this drawing it was enough for me to use only two previous brushes. Also, if you are interested, you can see the settings of all my 4 brushes on the screen. So with the line art, here's nothing difficult. We take one of brushes and begin to draw over the sketch. But here I want to advise you something. Even with the cool brushes, the fact that we still draw with a mouse doesn't disappear. So in order to make drawing process is more comfortable, you can pay attention to the hotkeys. I've set Z and X keys as turn of a canvas to the left and right side. Space helps me to move the canvas, and combinations of Ctrl Z and Ctrl X cancel or return the last action. How to set the hotkeys I will show you also at the end of this video. I think that it's the most comfortable position of these hotkeys if you draw with a mouse, so I advise you to set exactly the same. The next stage of drawing is, of course, coloring. Here also I want to advise you one more useful thing, which is probably very popular, but some people, especially who are the first time working with Sai, may not be aware of it. When you work with a mouse or even with tablet, sometimes you can have a problem of going beyond the line borders. But in our case, I mean with a mouse, the risk of doing this increases several times, unfortunately. So if you want to stop it, you can use one way. When you have already done the line art, just simply fill the character with different random colors. For what you should do it, I will explain you a little bit later. By the way, if you don't want to suffer, I mean in the process of selecting your character, just select the background and then in the selected tab click invert. But then you can probably see such small gaps between borders of selection and the line art. In order to fix this problem, you need to click Extend Selected by 1 pixel several times in the same tab. And if there are still some gaps or, on the contrary, unnecessary selection, you can fix it with Select and Deselect tools. So fill the main parts of the picture with random colors, and remember that each color should be placed on separate layer. Yes, the whole process is a bit boring, but I promise you, once you have to suffer with this, and then many times you will thank yourself for it. For example, after some hours of drawing, you suddenly decided to change the color of any part, for example hair. And if you don't want to fill the entire area for a long time, just create another layer above the layer with the hair color and just tick Clipping Group. Now on this second layer you can draw anything you want without going beyond other parts of the picture. The same applies to the shadows. Just select the mode on the second layer, for example multiply, and just draw the shadows. But the further you draw, the more you will have layers, unfortunately. At least I always get a few dozen. To comfortably navigate in this mess, at the very beginning for each base color, create a folder. To do this, just click on the folder icon as many times as you need, and then take each layer with the color and drag it to the folder. Then, in the process of drawing, you will not be confused in layers, and also working with one folder, you can hide other folders. So I created the color base of the picture, and the next step is applying shadows and light. The way you do this depends only on your drawing style, but basically everyone does exactly what I mentioned. Just create a layer with the multiply mode on top of the color layer, then just take, in my case, one of the 4 brushes and start applying shadows. Come on, there's nothing difficult. In general, using such simple things, I drew what you could already see. Now, as I promised, I will quickly show you how to install a new brush form and how to set new hotkeys. In order to install the brush that I used most of the time, first of all, you need to download it from the description. The file that you will get is just an image. All you need is just go to the Sai folder and copy the image to the LMAP folder. Now open the Start Sai, create a simple brush with the right mouse button, and in the form list select the name of image that you downloaded. What about the hotkeys? You need to go to Help and Settings and click on the key Settings. After that, on the left side you should select the button that you need, and on the right side the action that button have to make. And probably that's all for today, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below, and I will be very pleased if you'll subscribe to my channel. And also, if you have any questions or just something to say about this video, just leave a comment and I will do my best to answer. Thank you so much for watching, and bye!